Welcome back, viewers. You're watching the Savera and I'm Shafali. In a dramatic escalation to trade hostilities, US President Donald Trump has announced a 100% tariff on all imports from China, raising the total tariff burden on Chinese goods to 130% when combined with the existing 30% duty. The new tariffs are set to take effect from November 1, a move that has already sent shockwaves through global markets and renewed fears of a worldwide trade disruption. In his announcement, Trump also declared that the US will impose strict controls on the export and all critical software starting the same day. This will create problems for almost every country in the world, Trump wrote on his social media platform Truth Social, suggesting the move could have far-reaching global implications. The decision comes just days after China tightened its export restriction on rare earth mineral, essential materials used in advanced electric vehicles and defense technology. On October 9, Beijing added 5 more elements: holmium, erbium, thulium, aurorium, and yttrium to its restricted export list, requiring foreign companies to obtain special license for their use. Under the new Chinese policies, foreign companies using Chinese rare earth minerals or related technologies must apply for government licenses, which will not be granted to any firm affiliated with the foreign military. With the latest expansion, China now controls 12 of the world's 70 known rare earth minerals, solidifying its dominance over an industry that already supplies 70% of global demand and 90% of its processing capacity. In a strongly worded post, Trump called China's move a very aggressive letter to the world and condemned it as a moral disgrace. He said, "It's hard to believe China would take such a step, but they did. History will tell the rest." Trump accused Beijing of long-term planning to control key global supply chains, adding that his latest export controls could shake global trade and drive up prices across multiple industries. Trump also indicated that he sees no reason to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping to the upcoming APEC summit, saying, "Since China's announcement, we have been contacted by many countries deeply upset by Beijing's massive trade protest. Therefore, there seems to be no reason to meet Xi Jinping in APEC now." However, during a brief interaction with reporters later, he clarified that the meeting has not been officially cancelled. Trump further warned that China's actions are not limited to domestic products. According to him, Beijing plans to impose controls even on goods got manufactured in China, stating November 1, 2025, effectively expanding its border. This includes not only products made in China, but also goods made that aren't made in China at all. This decision will apply to all countries, Trump claimed. The US president's announcement has triggered immediate concern among economists and policymakers who warn that the renewed trade war could destabilize global supply chains and put additional strain on an already fragile world economy. Market impact. The news of the tariff hike and software export restrictions come after US market has closed on Friday, but its impact was immediate. The S&P 500 fell by 2.7%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 878 points, that's 1.9%. The Naxat Composite Index plunged 3.6%, reflecting sharp declines across major technology and manufacturing stocks. Shares of companies heavily reliant on Chinese supply chains, including Apple, Nevada, and Tesla, were hit particularly hard as investors braced for potential production disruption and higher component cost. Timeline of Trump's tariff escalation in 2025. Now, March 5, 2025, President Trump announced a sweeping plan to impose tariff on countries taking advantage of the US economy, vowing to balance trade deficits. April 2, the administration unveiled tariff on 69 nations, including India, scheduled to begin on April 9. However, implementing was delayed by 90 days to allow time for new trade agreements. July 31, the grace period expired and the US imposed tariff ranging from 10 to 50% for more than 100 countries. Nations that reached deals with Washington faced lower rates, while others saw steep penalties. October 11, Trump announced the new 100% tariff on Chinese imports, bringing total duties to 130% alongside restrictions on US software exports. The move marks the most aggressive phase of the US-China trade conflict since the early year of Trump's presidency, when both nations imposed crippling import taxes of over around 100%, effectively halting trade between the world's two largest economies before eventually scaling them back. Experts warn that this latest escalation could reignite those same tensions and severely disrupt international trade, with China's rare earth export controls threatening critical industries and the US imposing record-high tariff. The world now faces the prospect of a new global economic standoff, one that could reshape international trade for years to come. That's all for now in this update. Stay tuned to the Savera, download the app and follow us on various social media platforms.